Hello and welcome or welcome back to my channel. So for today's pick a card reading, I'm finally doing a twin flame reading. So thank you to all of you that have subscribed and booked personal readings. I'm actually absolutely swamped next week with my I'm just pulling in my chair. I'm absolutely swamped next week with my actual job, which I'm a photographer. And I have a bunch of sessions next week. So next week I won't be taking as many personals, but the following week I will have availability again. And I love doing readings for you guys. I appreciate all the support. Thank you to all of you that are watching my ads. My dream is to be able to do this full time. Like, I would love nothing more than to come on here every day and do readings for you and spend all my time doing personal readings. So years ago, it was a pipe dream, and now it's a dream that I can see and almost touch. So thank you, because it wouldn't be possible without you guys. I was terrified to start a YouTube channel. I was terrified to speak. I was terrified to put myself out there, and I've just been, again, welcomed with open arms. And I know that I spend a lot of time telling you guys that, but I really want you to know how much I appreciate you, and the fact that even if I don't respond to your comments, that there are nights where I sit and read your comments for hours and cry and just feel seen and loved. And again, you're all very important to me. I believe I've found my soul family here, and now I'm rambling on. But anyway, I really wanted to come on and do a twin flame reading because I'm a twin flame, and I really do attract twin flames. A lot of people who come to me for readings are in twin flame connections, or they're in a twin flame connection and they don't realize it. So yeah, I'm excited to do this. I do have my twin flame cards here for these readings, and I have a few different oracles that we'll get. So yeah, without further ado and without blabbering on, I'm going to introduce the piles. Thought I'd do something a little different today. So for pile 1, it's the Crystal Magic Tarot, or the Magic Crystal Tarot. I can't remember, and I have ADHD and possibly I'm dyslexic. So, but I have this. Somebody pointed out that they think this is a quartz twin tower point or whatever. So I thought I'd use it in my twin flame reading. So we have this clear quartz twin point. I'm not sure what you call it. And for pile number 2, we have the Light Seers Tarot, and we have these 2 feathers. So I do collect feathers, and I have a bird, actually. I have a parakeet, and the other day, 2 days ago, it was flying around in our family room, and it left me not 1 feather, but 2. And I was so excited when I saw them both fly and land on the ground. I was like, that's significant. I need to use that for one of my readings. So I thought twin flames, 2 feathers. We'll do that. And for pile 3, we have the Way of the Panda Tarot and the adorable little pandas. My little panda squad. They're both boys, naturally. All right, so if you need a minute to pick your pile, you can pause it here, and I will see you at your reading. Hello, pile 1, and welcome to your reading. If you chose this clear quartz twin tower thing, this is going to be your twin flame reading. So maybe you are watching this and you don't even know you're in a twin flame connection. So before we get into the tarot, we are going to get into the oracles. All right, so I was just grabbing the oracle cards. So for the connecting energy, we have the Self. For the feminine energy, take it as it resonates. If you resonate as the Chaser, it'll be this side. If you resonate as the Runner, you might resonate with this side. So this is supposed to represent the masculine. Genders don't apply here. The masculine, the feminine. So the feminine is the moose, the masculine is the goat. And we see the feminine coming this way, And we see the goat trying to go that way, but looking back. So what the feminine is working on, we have the Eight of Shells, which is the Eight of Cups, quest, renewal. And for what the masculine is working on, we have the High Priestess, intuition, and sacred knowledge. All right, I'm going to shove this over a little so that there's room for everything. There's nothing I hate more than when I go to pick up an oracle card to show you guys and then I mess up every card it's touching. So they can't actually touch because I don't want to mess them up. All right, so we're going to get some cards to represent what's going on here. Right away, Emperor. Now, I will say, when I first shuffled these cards, this card came out with the Empress card, which came out in, I believe it was pile 3 yesterday. I only did take the one card, but I did, right away, I'm seeing Temperance and Strength, which is like twin flame energy, if I've ever seen it. I only wanted to take that card, but with the Eight of Shells, you could be trying to embody that Empress energy right now. Maybe your person is on the run. All right, so let's see what's going on here. All right, let's look at the feminine energy. What is the feminine's energy? Oh, 6-6, union on the mind. You have union on the mind. What is the masculine's energy? What is the masculine's energy, please, Spirit? I only want to take that one. That was too many. It came out, you know what I will say? I should have taken it. It came out with the King of Wands. I should have taken it. And guys, I kind of want to go back and get it. I really do. Because, oh, it came out with the Emperor. There's a reason I wanted to go back. When it came out, I thought it was too many cards. And as I only took that one and said, well, I'm only going to take that one. And I saw the King of Swords right underneath. And immediately my spirit guide was like, nope, take that one too. And I don't usually feel called to go through the deck and find the card that I saw. And there was a reason, because we have the Emperor here. So very interesting energy, because we were starting off with the Empress or I saw the Empress come out with that card. So what I'm seeing here is, and I'm just kind of reading both sides of the energy right now. We have 3 of Pentacles on the bottom. So it could be possible that maybe you're talking to this person. Maybe you're trying to work things out, but you're both thinking about how it could work. You're both thinking about working it out, even if you're not in contact with this person. So we have Aries energy. We have lots of fire, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. We have Libra. We have water, so Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. We do have some earth, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. So what I'm seeing here is right now on the feminine side, on this side, we have, it's a lot about balance. It's a lot about, I feel like right now you're working on your own quest. We see quest and renewal here. And the Eight of Shells can be walking away from something that doesn't serve you. So it's possible that you walked away from this connection, or you walked away from something in your life that wasn't serving you. And it can be an energy of sadness of having to walk away from that thing. And right now we do see that the feminine is very much in their thoughts about their person. They're very much thinking about the past. They're very nostalgic about the masculine. They're thinking about, this is past life soul bond connection. It's possible this person there was an imbalance in your connection and they didn't give you equal give and take, and you're thinking about this. 6 is the number, I hear sirens. That's interesting. 6 is the number of harmony and union. So I do feel like you're thinking about union and you want union. Possibly you're talking to this person. I do feel like this person is going through spiritual awakening on their own. The 6 of Cups and the 6 of Coins can also talk about childhood wounding. So maybe right now, because you couldn't control this situation, you're working on yourself and you're working on wounds from your childhood. The 6 of Coins, especially with this, is someone who is, it can be somebody who's in therapy or somebody on their own who is researching. Like I've seen you guys talking about how you're researching attachment styles and triggers, and it's amazing. I'm so proud of you guys for doing that. It's so hard to look at yourself, and that's what we see the feminine doing. We see the feminine looking at themselves right now, focusing on themselves. The first card to come out, or the card that came out under this, was the Empress. So really embodying that Empress energy. I think that right now you're both focused on looking really deep within yourself at not only what went wrong here. I like that right there. Doesn't that look nice? I'm going to keep it like that. I like that. That is nice. Right now, you're really both focusing on yourselves. So like I said, you may be in communication, you might not be, but you're both working on very important lessons. We see the feminine working on walking away, acceptance. With the moose, I have it bookmarked here. The moose is about a formidable obstacle or opponent giving something too much power. And I feel for a long time, you gave this person way too much of your power. And actually, the fact that it's coming out, we have the 6 of Pentacles, I was saying that I feel like you probably gave too much to this person. You probably overgave. And I feel like they were not in a spot or a place to give back equally. We have the 3 of Coins on the bottom, which is about, I feel like both of you are thinking about how you could work together to make this work. But it can also talk about, in the reverse, not working as a team. So there was a disconnect there. And again, it almost seems like it was, you realized you couldn't change this person. You couldn't force this connection to work. All you could do was, accept that you love it, let it go. That, if you love something, let it go. I'm not trying to mock you, universe, but, I used to think that was a load of baloney. But again, the moose talks about seeing something as a huge challenge and giving it way too much of your power. And with the 8 of Shells, we see that you realized that you were running out of power for yourself. You were running out of love for yourself. And now we have this nice renewal energy where you're focused on yourself again and you're focused on your own self-love. It's possible that you've really released this connection and have realized it's about your journey and healing yourself and focusing on your own childhood wounds, because that's all you can control. And that's a lesson that I needed to learn. I couldn't control the other person's childhood wounding or their healing. I could just control my own. All I could do was take my destiny into my own hands and heal those things about myself and send them forgiving vibes and acceptance and love that they would do the same someday. And they came back in therapy. So, all right. So on the masculine side, we see that your person is going through something. It's very clear to me that this person ran from this connection. The first card out was the Knight of Wands. So in the past, this person ran from this connection. This is more fire energy. We have a lot of fire energy on the masculine side, which also represents movement. So that's good. And we're actually, what I'm seeing on the masculine side is a complete leveling up of energy. So for my pile ones, I feel like maybe you intuitively know this is happening, but your person is definitely going through something, someone. What? I didn't mean to say that. Maybe in the past there was a third party. We do have the Knight of Wands. Take it as it resonates. Maybe that was meant to come out. I just saw 1111 on the timer. But what we're seeing in the current energy is your person is definitely going through self-reflection. We have the Goat, which is, in the beginning I mentioned, we see this person heading this way, and it's a very stubborn energy. Hello to all my stubborn people. I'm a Taurus. Hello. We see this Goat heading this way, but they're looking back. Now, what I find very interesting is I feel like this person's shadows have been forcing them to run from this connection. And I feel like deep down, intuitively, they realized what was happening here, but they were propelled by their ego, by their shadows. And that's what happens. I mean, that's what happens. We experience a tower moment when we resist change, when we resist. This is about untapped potential. So this person is resisting the untapped potential of this connection. If you are twin flames, it's very possible that you're both meant to fulfill some kind of mission to the world. And this is also running away from untapped potential. And you can only do that for so long before the universe steps in and wakes you up. And if you're a feminine, you know what I'm talking about, because the feminine goes through it usually faster than the masculine. So we do see this person as looking back now. Again, it could be that you've completely walked away and pulled back your energy, and we see now this person looking back towards you and facing their shadow. I think that's really important. We see this character facing their shadow, and we see the High Priestess, which is about intuition and sacred knowledge. So I feel like right now this person they're releasing that stubbornness. Maybe they've had a tower moment in their life and spirit was like, you need to wake the F up. That's what I'm hearing. You need to wake the F up. Because that person is going that way and you're going that way. And we want you to be like this. This self card really represents, to me, it embodies what the twin flame journey is all about, which is about discovering yourself and about healing yourself and about healing past wounds and past triggers. And I love that this is the connecting energy, because this shows me that both of you are evolving and both of you are growing. Even if you're not in contact, even if you can't see this person, you have to believe. Again, as someone who experienced a twin flame connection, I can tell you that it's very easy for your ego and your programmed thinking to get in your head that you're imagining things and that you're crazy and that this person will never change. As someone who was that person, I'm telling you, believe in the impossible. Believe in this, because I've seen it happen, and I've seen it happen to my clients, and I'm very passionate about this journey, and I very much believe in it. I'm not here to romanticize it. It's hard. It hurts. It's triggering. A lot of people choose soulmates because it's too difficult and it's too triggering. These connections like these are meant to crack you open. They're meant to heal. And I feel like you, as the feminine, if you resonate with this side, you know this. You've already realized this because you're in this 6 energy. And it's like you realize there's something about this person that's helping you heal yourself and your own childhood wounds and possibly ancestral wounds. And just like you're doing that, your person is healing the wounds on their side in their past. And this is very transformative energy. We see the High Priestess, so I feel like this person is listening to their intuition, trying to battle that shadow. They could be going through a dark night of the soul. But what we're seeing here is they are leveling up. Like, these cards came out together. So this person is leveling up from the Knight of Wands, who runs from the connection, who is stubborn, who player, possibly a karmic partner. No, I'm not validating cheating. They're evolving to this King of Wands, which is someone you see more enlightened, more mature, someone who wants to take action. It's not about running, it's about coming towards you, taking action. And not only are they elevating, oh my goodness, elevating to the King of Wands, they're even, I feel like, really stepping into their divine masculine here, really facing themselves. The Emperor can sometimes represent a father figure, so it is possible, I don't normally say this, but I'm getting it. It's possible that this person has a wound surrounding their father, or surrounding something about their father. Maybe they act like their father, or they have wounds that were created in a relationship with their father that they're trying to heal. And we also have Justice, which I kind of like right here in the middle, because it is very much the energy that I'm picking up in this reading. I'm picking up the balancing of energy. It's like the scales are leveling out. You are working on yourself, not prioritizing this, not giving it too much power anymore because it hurt to give it too much and not have it back. And it's causing this person to step into that power so that they can reciprocate it, so that it can be balanced. Libra season could be important. Libra season is coming up. So I want to let's get a couple more cards to see, because this is what's currently happening. Let's just see what's coming next for this connection. What's coming next for this connection? We have the Hermit, lots of healing, Virgo energy. Virgo season is coming up, unless we're already in it. I'm not thinking about, I don't even know what day it is today. Anyway, it's Leo season. So we have the Hermit, which is Virgo energy, and we have the Queen of Cups, so water energy. I said, what's coming? So what's coming is more healing. Now, sometimes the Hermit card can talk about an awakening, and in some cards we see the Hermit on the edge of the cave, like coming out. So that could symbolize this person coming towards you. We do see, moving forward, a deepening here of emotion, and whether or not that's together or you're working on yourselves and it's deepening the twin flame bond, deepening the bond in the 5D, we see the depth of this connection being realized with the Hermit card, because that is about an inner knowing and an awakening. So where am I gonna, we'll put these right here. And on the bottom of the deck, we have Temperance and Strength. So again, divine timing, I know. There is divine timing here. I feel like Spirit's saying trust in this. This is divine masculine energy. I see the sun here, divine masculine energy, Leo energy. And I do feel like right now what is keeping this connection from moving forward is waiting for the masculine, waiting for the masculine to either come forward if they haven't, or to embody that Emperor energy if you are talking, so that you can move forward together towards a future. Let's see. Any other messages for what's coming next? We have the Two of Coins. Lots about balance, you guys. So much about balance. And that's, like I said, that's what I saw here. I see you're both working on yourselves. It's funny because just Queen of Swords stands in her truth, walks away, causes anxiety. I don't mean to laugh. It's just, this is the journey. Causes anxiety in the goat person, causes the goat person to look back. Wait a minute, starts that wheel turning. Look, starts that wheel turning. I can't lie about this. I can't make this up. The wheel of destiny starts turning, and what happens? This person starts working on themselves and starts coming back towards you. Not in Knight of Wands energy, though, in Knight of Pentacles. Following the bond that they feel with you here. That's Aquarius. Ace of Cups. That's beautiful. I want to look at the oracles, the twin flame oracles, because to me it's clear. Again, Spirit's not really telling me if you're in communication. It just shows that you're both on the right path. So good job, pile one. I mean, it's a very hard journey, but when you see that pearl, it's worth it. It is so worth it to learn. Like the lessons that I've learned on this journey about myself, they've changed me. I'm a different parent. I was at a risk for repeating all of the patterns that my parents were stuck in. You know, addiction, alcoholism, yelling, aggression, anger. It's not that I just bypassed that and it skipped a generation. I went through it all. I've shared, I was an alcoholic for a very long time. I'm 14 years sober. I don't yell at my kids. I don't hit my kids. I don't even really punish my kids because they're children and I'm their teacher. So anyway, it's really been, for me, this journey has really been about learning to know who I am and discovering my life purpose and healing so many wounds that I had, so many wounds that I risked passing on to my own children. And I didn't want to do that. There was one day, it was like right before my spiritual awakening. It was many, many years ago. It was when I decided to go to therapy, actually. I was cleaning and I had cleaned the house and I had come back downstairs and the playroom that we had was a mess again. And my children were young, like they were young. And I was so triggered that I started yelling and I said, like, I didn't even recognize myself. I said, you guys want to make a mess? I can make a mess too. And I made a mess. I dumped over toys and I was so ashamed of myself. It was like the worst version of myself that I had ever seen. And I saw in my kids' eyes, it was like the first time I had ever blown up at them. They were young. And in their eyes, I saw reflected back at me as a child, me being terrified of my dad, me being terrified of the threats of throwing my toys out and stuff like that. And it absolutely broke me to see that reflected back at me and my children. And similarly with my counterpart, I started reflecting the same type of things. And it's a very humbling experience. Anyway, I couldn't get through this without babbling on, okay? Whoa, that hit me in the face. I love when they hit me in the face. As you surrender your 3D expectations, I surrender to our 5D connection. So this can be about, I will say it, as a feminine and as the feminines, we can try to force it to work before it's ready, and we can really have all of these expectations in the 3D, like, shouldn't we be this? Shouldn't we be that? Shouldn't we be doing this? Shouldn't we be doing that? Shouldn't you be talking to me? And we have all of these expectations because of our programming that it actually blocks the connection. And like it says here, as you surrender those expectations, it actually releases the energy and causes the masculine to surrender to the 5D connection. We have, I need you to trust me and believe I am working toward union with you. So 3, Empress energy. This person is trying to bring this, manifest this into reality. They're trying to work on themselves here. For some of you, again, you could have limited contact or see each other, because I find it interesting that these two people can see each other. There's another card in the deck where there's a wall up and they can't see each other, but they're holding hands around the wall. And to me, that symbolizes, sorry, my battery's dying. To me, that symbolizes a blockage, like not being in contact. But for this one, I'm just plugging in my phone. For this one, for some of you, I feel like you might already be in contact because you can see each other. Maybe you're friends online. We have, our energy is stagnant. Triggers sometimes happen to break up the stagnancy and help the energy flow again. So this is a thing. So sometimes in these connections, if, for example, if you're in contact and you're just kind of plugging along and it's very stagnant, there could be, you could both trigger each other to break up that energy, to open up that wound, to me, I feel like anytime you get triggered, it's an opportunity to look at your wounding. My problem is that when I'm being triggered, I don't have the common sense to think about that. I'm just like, I'm triggered, so I'm going to react. But slowly you start to be able to, even if you do it after the trigger, look at it. Look at why did that trigger happen? It's a lesson that needs to be learned. It's a cycle that needs to be broken. We have, our hearts are connected. Take a moment to close your eyes and feel the connection. For some of you, I feel like you are in minimal contact. These are I can't even speak, special messages from your person. That's beautiful. What else? What else can you tell me about this twin flame connection? We have so many messages from your person. Your person is trying to communicate with you. So if you're not communicating in the 3D, they're trying to send you signs in the 5D, or like dreams, or they're trying to send you signs and synchronicities. Universe could be sending you signs. I've been so grounded all my life. It's hard for me to trust the spiritual elements of our connection, yet I can't deny they exist. So remember, I said that this person is facing their ego right now. They're like facing their shadow, facing that pre-programmed thinking. Because what are we programmed to think? Oh, somebody walks away from us and doesn't want us? Screw them. I can get somebody else and I can move on with my life. That's our ego. That's our programmed thinking. And this person is realizing they can't forget about the moose. They can't forget about that empress. How weird is it that the card I said I was seeing in my brain came out? I'm used to being around people who aren't spiritual. So for those of you who believe in what I believe, I think that is an amazing synchronicity that happened. Because I said, for some of you, I feel like you're seeing this person and I'm seeing the card in my mind where blah, 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 blah. And I'm mocking myself, I know. But this is the card that I was seeing. So for some of you that aren't in contact, this person misses you. They still feel your energy. I described this exact card. This is the energy of the lovers. This is very much this is an excellent card to see because this, I just saw 30:03 on the timer. This is a card about them accepting, what's the word I'm looking for? Surrendering, that's the word. Surrendering to this connection. They don't want to run away anymore. You don't want to run away anymore. You both want this. You are in like the 6-6. You're thinking union energy. I think you're beautiful inside and out. I see the light that radiates from your soul. Empress. Nobody will ever compare to your light. No one will ever be able to trigger this person in this way and have them want to heal. I'm sure people in their past, just like you probably, like me, probably had people in your past that saw your flaws and your shadows and didn't want to be around for them. Or you saw their flaws and shadows and, okay, that's enough for me. That's not going to work. That's not compatible. There's something about the two of you being a catalyst for each other and being important enough to each other to change. You're very powerful to this person. Okay, so we'll take these. We have their subconscious fears affecting our ability to attract love and abundance. The universe is helping us make them conscious so we can easily attract what we want, including each other. I'm listening to my higher self now. A higher power is guiding me. So yeah, this person is definitely thinking about you, working on themselves, and you're working on yourself, and you are mirrors. So if you work on yourself, they'll work on themselves. It's true. You show up in my dreams. Didn't I say they were communicating in the 5D? It helps me process buried memories. So one thing that does happen that I will mention, and I experienced it, and then that divine counterpart reader that I listen to talks about it, is that sometimes when we're preparing for union, we will actually start having dreams, and this happens to me, you guys. You'll actually start having dreams about scenarios with this person that trigger you, or you'll dream that you're fighting with this person, or you'll blah, blah, blah. I'm talking a million miles a minute. You'll have dreams that you had a fight with this person, and it's meant to trigger you in the 5D and help you process those memories, process those feelings. Again, it is a thing. So if you're having dreams about this person, they're having dreams about you. Don't judge this, just surrender. I know it's triggering, but from a higher perspective, it's clearing energy and bringing us closer together. All right, so those are the cards for pile 1. And I'm just going to get just a few oracle cards for you. I actually want to get some advice from this deck. Advice for this connection? So your advice, oh my goodness. Your advice. We have the 8 of Crystals, which is the 8 of Pentacles. Again, I know I'm tapping into a certain collective here because this 8 of Pentacles has been coming up a lot. And I keep talking about this this recent interpretation I heard of the 8 of Pentacles, which is about picking a soul connection and dedicating yourself to it and working on it. So for advice, we have optimism, innovation, we have the King of Wands, fire energy, and we have the 8 of Pentacles. So have optimism about this. There is progress being made. We see the progress underneath the surface, right? So this person is making this progress even if you can't see it. And it's about dedicating yourself to this process, dedicating yourself to this journey. And on the bottom of the deck, we have the King of Crystals, which is the King of Pentacles, courage, commitment. So I do believe this person wants commitment here. And look, we have the Hanged Man, patience. Your advice is patience. Thank you, Spirit. Have patience. I could have told them that. Spirit's funny. You know what I wanted to get for you? I'm going to get a couple moon cards, and then I'm actually going to get a starseed deck. We have adjustments are required, 3rd quarter moon. So for those of you who are talking, there's still adjustments that need to be made. For those of you who aren't talking, still adjustments. I do feel like you're both making adjustments, especially you. We have Show the World the Real You full moon in Aquarius. So I will say, for those of you who think about being on social media, think about being a healer, this is about putting yourself out there. Bring love into the situation. New moon in Aquarius. Lots of Aquarius energy. On the back of the deck, we have Your Hard Work is Paying Off, new moon in Capricorn. And we also have Believe in the Impossible, blue moon. And we have a blue moon this month, you guys. And I'm pretty sure I did mention believing in the impossible here. I remember saying it about the goat, saying, I've seen it happen. So we're going to get a starseed card. See what you need to hear. A lot of, oh, look, you'll survive this. New solutions and beginnings. A lot of twin flames do resonate with starseeds. All right, where's my book? Where's my book? I just had it out. Oh my God. I put a deck on top of it, so I could not see it for the life of me. I actually had to pause it and go look for it. And it was right beside me. That's just typical. I went to Florida once with my kids. I do this all the time. I'll be looking for something that I'm holding. Anyway, I was in Florida with all 4 of my children. And I was like trying to keep a head count on all of them. And I was like, where's my son? Who has my son? I couldn't see my son anywhere. And the people I was with were like, Kelly, you're holding your son's hand. Like, I was so worried about keeping an eye on them. I didn't even realize I was holding his hand. Anyway. Okay, this is a shadow card. Ooh, interesting. One that may feel confrontational. Don't be afraid. It's here to bring to the surface anything that's standing in the way of letting love in. See, this could be your person's energy too. Take it as it resonates. The warring planet of Mars is our constant reminder that it's important to soften, forgive, and find our way back to love. There are many things in the human experience that make it difficult for our heart and soul to stay open to the never-ending source of love. We're all wounded, and our unconscious wounds inflict wounds on others. Guys, this is what I'm talking about. I'm not here to promote the toxic male propaganda. I'm not here to promote toxic relationships. Hurt people do hurt people. It's a thing. And this says right here, we're all wounded, and our unconscious wounds inflict wounds on others. We're all guilty of it. And anybody who says they aren't is in denial, because nobody's perfect. And if you've had a perfect childhood, I want to know who you are. Even if you did have a perfect childhood, we can experience wounds from our past lives, from our parents. Like, I have triggers that my parents have. I have no idea how I developed them because it's my parents' history. Anyway, it can feel like a never-ending dance we can never escape. If we aren't careful, before long, we'll see the world as scary, dangerous, and a place where fear and anxiety roam free. If this card surfaces, it could be for 2 reasons. Firstly, for you to acknowledge the difficult emotions, situations, conflict, wounds, and fears that are causing you pain and anxiety. And secondly, to find your way back to love. I'm feeling this is your person's energy because that's the energy of this, right? When we're hurt, it's normal to close off our heart to the world, to let painful experience conform the agony and separation in earthly life. Soften and find your way back to love. My dogs are about to bark because I have a package coming to the door. Surprise package. Interesting. That could be significant to someone. When fear, anxiety, and paranoia paralyze you, it's normal to want to hide away from others in the world. Come out of your cave and soften your heart anyway. We're all innocent children spinning our way around the world. It's funny because I mentioned not yelling at my kids because they're kids that I need to teach lessons to. Find a way to see the innocence in all people, especially yourself. Perspective. Let's see what that says. None of this matters. Zoom out, common ground. Take a step back and look at the bigger picture of your life. Step away from the blinkered vision and reactive frame of mind of me against them. This is interesting. I'm so glad this card came out, because this is very much a message for twin flames. Step away from the blinkered vision and reactive frame, and I was talking about reactions, of me against them. Change your perspective, shift your point of view, and zoom out, out, out. And this is something that it's not you against them. It's not them against you. It's you as a team, and you need to work together. We are but a speck of dust in the universe, yet we think everything revolves around us. We see the planet as ours to own and conquer, pillaging the land and setting ourselves up for eventual extinction. We build fences and walls and create invisible borders. Mother Earth doesn't need us to survive, but we need her. It's time to wake up. A new perspective is urgently needed. We become so lost in our individual experience that we don't realize that most of the things that keep us awake at night are usually distractions. We're wasting our precious time and resources fighting each other when we should be coming together to heal what has been severed. I have chills. This moment is a breath in the timeline of your life. This life is a fleeting moment in the tapestry of your soul's experience. Your soul's experience is a flash in the timeline of the known universe, and the known universe is a grain of sand in the unknown universe. Take a moment to see the bigger picture, to find common ground, to find deep compassion in your heart, to gain a greater perspective of humanity. I'm tearing up in this fleeting moment in the timeline of your soul's existence, in the timeline of all that is, was, and ever will be. I don't know why I'm having an emotional reaction to that. It's just very confirming. And that is the point of twin flame connections to me. They're very important and worth all of this hard work, you know? All right, I'm gonna get you letters. Let's clean up first so that I can easily go into pile 2. Actually, on the bottom of the deck, look at that, you guys. That's on the bottom of the deck. Defensiveness, righting past wrongs, uprooting. And we see the mirrored souls there. That's very interesting. That was underneath that new beginning one. All right. So many cards. Alrighty. Charms and letters. Sorry about the drawers on my desk being loud. Oh, I can't get at them very well for some reason. There. We have J, P, P, A, Y, H, I, D, E, F, G, Destiny, Divine Timing, Wheel of Fortune, Z, Q, V, Z, K, KK, I, L, C, O, E. I'm going to take that little guy out of there now. JP. I feel like I see JP a lot. Sorry, that's loud. All right. Give it a stir. All right. So we have travel could be important. You could be at a distance. We have transformation, star, elephant, angels, divinely guided, candy cane, fish, seahorse. These are my little seahorse. I like the little seahorse. We have fairy, We have the crab heart. I always think of Cancer when I see that. Music, very important. Free, growth, peace, harmony. We have a turtle. We have a cat. Why couldn't I think of what that was called? We have the Wheel of Fortune again. Music. Twin flames can communicate through music, so that's interesting. We have a mermaid. We have 2 elephants. Yay! 2 elephants. Christmas tree, butterfly, a lock, a cross. We have another kitty here. That kitty reminds me of like art. Maud Lewis. And we have a boat, receiving information or the news that you need. So my lovely twinnies, I'm going to leave it there. And I'm so glad I finally got to do one of these. I hope it resonated. And as always, I am sending you so much love and light, and I'm sending your person lots of love and light too. Bye. Hello, pile 2, and welcome to your reading. For some reason, my throat just completely closed over. What is going on? If you chose pile number 2 and you chose the 2 feathers that are they're a gift from my birdie, and her name is Blue, in case that's relevant. If you chose those 2 feathers and the Light Seers Tarot, this is going to be your reading all about your twin flame relationship. So take it as it resonates. Twin flames, it won't resonate for everyone. Before we get into the tarot, we are going to look at these oracle cards. So first we have the King of Crystals. This is the King of Pentacles, so that's Earth energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. For what's happening right now within this connection, we have the underworld. I should have explained what that card is. I will. We have the rabbit. So the way that I pulled these cards, I meant for this to be the masculine energy, but take it as it resonates. You could resonate with this side, but I'm looking at that as the masculine and this side as the feminine. We have the shadow and we have the crab. So the crab is representing the feminine, and so these cards represent the divine feminine and the divine masculine and their shadows and what's happening beneath the shadows. This is connecting energy, the underworld, and then these are the things that you're working on in your own journeys as twin flames. So right now, the feminine in this collective is the crab, and working on the shadow, 15, self-empowerment and ambition. And the masculine is the rabbit, working on courage and commitment. So before we get into the tarot, I do want to talk a little bit about this energy. So on the left side, on the masculine side, we see the rabbit. And the rabbit is a very fast moving energy. So we have Capricorn energy, we have water energy, specifically Cancer, but also Scorpio and Pisces. We have Earth, and we have a bit of fire here. I'm just going to get the book because these numbers are relevant. So this is number 70. So that reduces to 7, which is the number of the Chariot. And the rabbit is fast-paced change, decision-making, and the need to act. So this is talking about someone who could have been very skittish, could have embodied the Knight of Wands energy in the past. And in pile 1, the masculine was on that side, but the energy in this pile, the masculine is actually turning into the runner here. We see, the chaser. And their energy is pointed directly over at, you can see it here, their energy is pointed directly at the feminine energy. And the rabbit, 70, chariot, is about taking action. I am going to read what it means so that you can get an idea of what your person, if you resonate with the feminine, what the masculine is going through. Rabbits are notorious for being skittish, as are masculines. Hey, I mean, I can be skittish too. I'm not going to judge or hate on anybody. They are hyper-vigilant and ready to act at the slightest hint of danger. The arrival of this card means you must embody the quick-acting nature of the rabbit now, as things are about to start changing at a fast pace. Remember, this is their energy, so something in them, they're feeling this pull, they're feeling this intensity to take action. And I feel with this card, the underworld, I do feel like you maybe cut yourself off from this person, because we see the shadow and the crab, and you'll notice the shadow, the jackal, is facing forward, working on themselves. The crab facing forward, working on themselves. And with the energy of the underworld, I do feel like this was more than you just walking away. I think it was way more than you just walking away. I feel like something did happen and possibly you could have blocked them, because the underworld is very much like hitting rock bottom. It's a wake-up call. It's the energy where transformations happen. And so what we're seeing is the feminine working on herself, possibly walking away, blocking that person, and this person being like all of a sudden they hit rock bottom, tower moments, oh my goodness, and a wake-up call. It's also about facing your deepest fears. So I did want to mention that I feel this person in losing you is facing that fear, because I do feel with these connections, you do feel that bond. And maybe they thought that you would continue to put up with whatever behavior was happening or whatever cycles you were going through, because we all know we're constantly going through cycles. And it really took you ending this or walking away for them to see how scared they were of losing you. And we see this person, courage and commitment, and the rabbit is about feeling the need to take action before they miss their chance. I have, my throat is very blocked right now with this energy, which makes me think of communication. Again, this reminds me of fire. The colors here, action. And over here, we have emotion and heart awakening. So I do feel like you've taken a step back here, the feminine, if you resonate with being the feminine. And you could be doing shadow work even, because we see self-empowerment, action. I really enjoy numerology, and 15 reduces to 6, which makes me think of the Lover's card. It also makes me think of 6 of Cups. So you could be looking at childhood wounding here. Maybe you have addictions that you're facing. On the twin flame journey, we can both come from very troubled backgrounds and childhoods, and we can have a lot. I can't believe how closed over my throat is for this pile. We can have a lot of generational trauma. And so it's possible that right now you're working on some of those things on your self journey, because this is a journey about learning about yourself. It's about learning about your shadows. Twin flames trigger each other and mirror each other. And it's a very humbling journey. I too went through the shadow. I'm a recovering alcoholic, and again, there's something here about facing your childhood wounds or your past wounds from past relationships, realizing how they affected this one. The crab is an energy of protection. So I do feel, you know, with the shadow, that's about codependency. So it's possible that in the past, you and this person had a codependent bond, or you were just really fixated on being with them, having union, working everything out. And what we're seeing here is that the energy has been pulled back to the feminine is protecting herself here because she knows something's not working. So she's pulling her energy back and protecting herself with this shell. Gender, take it as it resonates. I accept everyone. I want to get the book about this. Now, this card, like I said, is about facing our deepest fears. And in these connections, we're very attached energetically. And it could be, this feminine could be at the stage of her journey where they're thinking, have I like by pulling myself back, have I messed everything up? If I pull myself back, is it gonna mean this will never come around? You too are facing a fear here. Maybe you're a people pleaser who has been a people pleaser your whole life, and now you're focusing on yourself and you're afraid that you've made the wrong decision by choosing yourself. But this journey is about choosing yourself. Choosing yourself first. You choose yourself and your own self-love journey, and you have to stand in your truth. Anyway, I'm getting on to it now. So this is 5, which is the number of 5 is about change. So this is about self-protection, boundaries, teaching others how to treat you. So again, I feel this energy that you've pulled yourself back because you had to protect yourself from this connection. And I think that is a fear for you, that by doing that, you've messed something up, but you haven't, because we see the energy being pulled back this way. It's like a wake-up call for that bunny. The crab is the master of self-protection, never leaving behind its home of armor and perpetually armed with sharp bone-crushing claws. Although normally a docile creature, the crab stays ready to defend itself if necessary. It also stays ready to retreat if necessary. There is a situation at hand that calls for you to embrace this wisdom. Boundaries are hard, and as we move through life, our boundaries shift, grow, and transform along with us. Knowing when it's time to stay and fight versus when it's time to best move on or take a step back is a delicate art. I love that. I didn't even read this before we started. You must master it now. Remember that we ultimately teach others how to treat us through our boundaries. Do you have them? This card is a call to assert them, maybe openly, maybe through silent withdrawal. Whatever feels the safest and most empowering option is the answer now. Stay open to the possibility of that answer changing throughout the situation too. Honor your own boundaries, honor your own needs. That's amazing. That's amazing. So again, I believe you're doing the right thing here. And what do we see? It's made this person wake up. Now we're going to get into tarot to see what else there is, but to me, that's a pretty clear message. Oh my goodness. What? You're working on yourself. You're thinking about yourself. Wait, I want more. All right. For my divine masculines, I'm not making fun, I promise. I love all of you. And I'm sending you all love. Oh my goodness, what is... I'm hearing Can You Feel the Love Tonight? But in the Lion King, I don't know why. I have no idea why. Now we've got the King of Cups. See, for those of you who have blocked them or pulled your energy back and you're overthinking it and you're worrying that you've messed up everything, just know, even though you haven't heard from them, the energy has shifted. I can see it in the cards. I can feel it. I keep hearing, Can you feel the love tonight, Lion King? I don't know why. So bizarre. Anyway, so whose energy do we want to start with? Well, we'll let the feminines go first. Let's start with the feminine's energy. So Spirit, what is the feminine's energy right now? How is the feminine doing? Interesting. Look at this. So we have Judgment and King of Pentacles. So this is earth energy. I feel like, again, this is about being your own provider. It's about protecting yourself. The King of Pentacles is somebody that wants to protect you and nurture you and provide for you and be stable for you. And that is the energy that you're embodying for yourself. You're looking at yourself. You're in self-empowerment, awakening. And you're, again, with that crab, talking about protecting yourself. Right now, you are providing for yourself. You're focused on your own goals. You're focused on your own journey. You're focused on leveling up. Again, I know this is a king. Take it as it resonates. Interesting. On the bottom of the deck, we have the Knight of Pentacles and the Lovers. So to me, it reminds me of that masculine coming back very slowly, you know? Can we get, I want to get one more card for the feminines, for the crab. I just saw this, listen guys, I just saw the Seven of Wands. It wanted to come out. And in that, in that card, we see she's meditating in a bubble and nothing is getting to her. It's right here. Look. This happened in the last pile. There was a card that I was meant to see, and when I went back, there was a very clear message. So again, look at this. Focused on yourself. Possibly still thinking about that energy, but focused on yourself, your own peace. Again, you could have this person blocked, but look how balanced she's getting without all that outside influence, without the fighting, without the conflict, without the, you know, these are intense connections. And we have the Queen of Cups, so getting in touch with your own emotion, because in these connections, we can lose sense of our emotions. We can lose control. We can embody the darkest versions of ourselves, and it's very hard. All right, let's look at the masculine. What is the masculine going through? What is the masculine going through? Look. Taurus, Libra energy. This person, I'm telling you, they could be tapping into their feminine energy. But to me, I just feel like you're embodying Empress energy and they're just drawn to it here. I feel like, hang on. Sorry about that, guys. Barking dogs. So we see your person being drawn back here to that feminine energy. Look at this. World on the bottom. So they're really going through something here. Some kind of cycles coming to an end. Like I said, something you did here really shifted the energy. This person is over here, you know, just completely focused over on you. And we see the World card, so you could be at a distance. But I feel like this person is going through an ego death here, or they went through one when they couldn't get at that energy anymore. Because they're drawn to that energy that you have. Like a moth to a flame. Like a moth to a flame. So I see your person is working on, with that death and rebirth card, they could really be also looking at things about themselves, patterns, things in their childhood, reactions that they need to change. What else can you tell us about the Divine Masculine? Whew, those cards went flying under the table. So this person, I feel like this person is watching you online, but again, they're thinking about, they're really drawn to you right now. Like it's a very it's a pull, and that's when we're talking about energy and these connections and how it's not actually a game and it is energy. This is what we're talking about. It's when it's not a manipulative game. It's when you focus on yourself. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. The cards on the bottom of that deck I'll show you in a minute. So this card, the Page of Pentacles, so we have earth energy here. This can be someone working on themselves. Now, I know some people say it's a small offer. This person could want to make a small offer to you. With the Six of Wands, this could be somebody that might reach out on social media if you don't have them blocked, or they could even, I don't know, maybe you don't have them blocked on social media, so they reach out that way because you've blocked their phone. I'm not sure. But again, it can mean a small offer. But the Page of Pentacles also talks about someone who's really working on themselves. It is a younger energy, a more immature energy. But you see this person working on themselves and possibly starting to examine those childhood wounds that prevented this connection from being successful. We do have the Ten of Cups here, and when I looked at it here, we see the wheel, destiny, and the star. So that's Aquarius energy. We have all the fixed signs there. Music could be very important in this connection. It often is in twin flame connections. You could have children, or this person could have children, but ultimately the universe wants this. You know, this connection is meant to heal you both. You could resonate with star seeds with that energy there. I actually want to keep that there because it's just beautiful. It's what you're working towards. It's what you're working towards. Let's see what's coming next for these two. What's coming next? So it looks like you guys are continuing to work on yourselves here. Can I get another card? There is a lot about self-growth here, you guys. This is about self-growth. This is about, to me, I'm seeing you guys working on your own wounds so that you can heal this, so that you can have equal give and take, because there was probably an imbalance in this connection, probably a chaser and a runner, probably somebody was giving. No hate. I've been that person. Someone who's just giving. We have that codependent energy there, and it became imbalanced. And so you both had to kind of take a step back and work on yourselves. This also symbolizes equal give and take and balance coming to this connection. I definitely do think that this is a connection where someone is going to communicate, because the entire time my throat has been completely blocked, and that rabbit energy is it's a quick energy. Any other messages? This is, again, there's been some kind of blockage that's been cleared in this connection, and we see it here with the Ace of Wands. You see that third eye is completely lit up and it's on fire. Something has been activated here. That's beautiful energy. I wish I heard of a different version of this card, and I wish I could remember it right now. Having to do with soul connections. I believe it was that something had been, it's a spark of something, a cycle, a pattern finally being healed and elevating spiritually together. Let's see, Spirit, anything else? So a new beginning, fresh start. Queen of Wands. So I just saw the Two of Cups too. For some of you, well, this is just like a spark of something amazing. But for some of you, you could have something creative that you're working on, a new creative endeavor. And for someone, that's very common for twin flames to have, what does my counterpart reader call it? Dormant vessels. We're dormant vessels. We're supposed to be healers, but we don't realize it until we meet our twin flame and awaken. And there's something here about a new beginning and a creative endeavor. I just want to mention it. Oh, look, for all of... Anyway, I'm going to get to that. There is something, I'm getting a message about working on your creativity, and advice for you while you're in this. You'll hear me say it. The more you work on yourself, the more you raise your vibration, the more you heal, the more this person gets pulled back in. But anyway, I was going to say there could be a new creative endeavor here. As for the two of you, I do see movement on the masculine side coming this way. My throat has been completely blocked, and underneath here we have a new beginning. So someone taking a leap of faith towards you. Again, I've never seen the Eight of Pentacles so many times as I have in the last 4 days since I saw what it means in a soul connection. And it's a connection that's worth waiting for. It's worth waiting for. It's worth working on. It's worth, like, I see this now. I look at this and I see this. Even, do you see how she's looking at that flame? That is what, it's a connection that it's not easy. You have to choose it. It's a journey you have to choose. And I see you both choosing it here. It's interesting that we have two flames. I never noticed that before. That is very interesting. And again, for some of you, this could be a connection that's meant to highlight what you were supposed to be doing with your life. Maybe you're meant to be a light worker. Maybe you're meant to be a tarot reader. And look, we have the Four of Wands on the bottom. See, there's movement here in this connection. King of Cups and the Chariot. Again, I feel the energy that this person, if you haven't already heard from them, when you started working on yourself, you're going to be hearing from them soon. All right, so let's get... we'll get some twin flame cards. So Spirit, we're looking for some advice about this connection, this twin flame connection for my pile twos. What's going on here? Just any additional info. Any additional, right away, communication, I see on the bottom. Communication. All right. Let's see. So just take what resonates. I just want to say, if you see something about a third party, this is a general reading. I don't want you to panic. General reading. Okay. Look at this, 6. I am walking home to you. I am not sure where I am on the path, but I am walking it. This person is... they're on their way back, and if it's not in the physical yet, definitely energetically. We see it here. Communication. See, they're thinking about messaging you, if they haven't already. I wanted to send you a message today, but I was afraid to. I don't know if you want to hear from me or if I can say the right things to you. Oh my goodness, this person wants to talk to you. This person's energy is heading back to you. That one flew across the room. 2, there are subconscious fears affecting our ability to attract love and abundance. The universe is helping us make them conscious so we can easily attract what we want. And this card, again, I feel like divine timing is at play here, because it's almost like you're both facing this fear of losing each other. Oh my goodness. Union. The same divine energy flows in each of us. This energy is the catalyst to our reunion. We just need to allow this energy to work its magic. And I believe you're already doing that. That's that Empress energy, embodying that. Focus on yourself. Heal yourself. Let go of expectations. I'm not saying wait. I've never seen this card, you guys. I've never seen this card. Wowza. I told you. I started it off and I couldn't even speak. We are coming into union. Oh my goodness. I know the universe works in mysterious ways, but sometimes I judge this situation instead of surrendering to it. That could be both of your energy. Again, one of the hardest parts of this journey, I'm saying again, I think I mentioned it in pile 1 though, is overcoming your programmed thinking and your ego telling you, you know, you judge it and you overthink it and you try and rationalize it and you go through periods where you're being tested and you wonder if this is just a bunch of baloney. Like, it's not. It's not. We have a past life connection. Memories are surfacing either consciously or subconsciously. So as you work on yourself, what happens? As you work on your own self, your own childhood wounds, what happens? They intuitively, energetically start feeling pulled to do the same. So they start working on themselves. And we see that with the Page of Pentacles. This energy is very positive. I'm changing this pattern and moving forward. Oh my goodness. Look, it's a guy on a bike. Chariot energy. Again, lots of movement in this pile. Lots of movement. Anything else? I just said this. I've been so grounded all my life. It's hard for me to trust the spiritual elements of our connection, yet I can't deny they exist. So again, this could be both of you going back and forth in your heads about, am I imagining this? But I feel it. But but would they do that if they loved me? But should I not talk to them? It's an incredibly confusing journey and it's meant to humble you. Let's get just one more. I'm hearing I just can't get enough. I just can't get enough. 7, Chariot. Mirrors, separated or together, we are working in tandem with each other. Yes, that's what I was just saying. Thank you, Spirit. That's what I was just saying. Oh, sorry if that was loud, you guys. All right, I kind of want to see, I'm going to ask for advice here. What advice do you have for this connection? What is coming next? That's interesting. We have the Queen of Pentacles coming out, and so we have a divine pair here that shows me that, well, look, comfort, prosperity, that's what you have coming. And I think it's very beautiful that these two are here now. It's a very dedicated energy. Any advice? 10. So this is the 10 of Acorns, which is the 10 of Wands. So like I said, this is a connection that's meant to test you. We see responsibility and dedication. And we see the sun. So again, this is a connection that's meant to change you and it's meant to change them. And 10 of Wands it's a lot. It's a heavy energy. But it's also an energy of dedication and that there will be burdens and it will be hard and it will be heavy and triggering, but that both of you are taking responsibility for not only yourself, but you're healing childhood wounds. So you're taking responsibility for generations, you know. You're taking responsibility for your ancestors. That's too many, but I will take that Temperance. Look, we have balance and harmony. Temperance, that's beautiful. Look at that. Temperance, and that's a very twin flame card. That's the balancing of masculine and feminine energy we see there. And on the bottom of the deck, we have the Nine of Shells, which is wish fulfillment. So happily ever after. We also have Queen of Cups under that. So that is so beautiful. Guys, I can't even remember what I got for the other pile right now. So I'm gonna get you some moon cards. I think that's what I did. Guys, Libra season is coming up and there's a blue moon at the end of this month. A new romantic cycle begins. New moon in Libra. Ooh. Believe in the impossible, blue moon. Come on. Come on. Love it. I love it. Expect a powerful change. Hold your vision. See? Hold that vision. I know. You overthink it. You question it. I get it. It's like a yo-yo. It's like a never-ending roller coaster. The merry-go-round, you know? You just keep getting back on. A win-win outcome is forecast. Yay! All right, so I want to get one of my starseed cards for you. We'll see if Spirit has anything to say about that, and then we'll get charms. We'll get charms and initials. That's too many. Okay, you want to come up, that's fine. Trust the timing. Oh my gosh, I feel like Spirit's just playing a joke on me. Trust the timing. Let's read the book. I gotta find the book. Where is that book? I lost it in pile... Oh, there it is. I lost it in pile 1 as well. Trust the timing. Trust the wave you came in on. Time is not running out. So often those who feel like they're here for a reason sense that time is running out, and they spend their life worrying that they may miss their moment. But the only way to miss your life or your moment is to spend your time worrying about missing it. It's never too late to answer a calling, and you're never too old. The tides of your life are magnificently orchestrated to come in and out of perfect unison. Don't race ahead and ride a wave that was never meant for you. You'll waste your precious time and energy when instead you could be enjoying your life. Everything has a season, and you're being called to trust the one you're in. Don't let impatience, comparison, competition, or paranoia disturb the seeds. Or overthinking. It seems that everyone has anxiety these days and constantly scanning for something they might have missed or a possible threat. Keeping our mind and body pointed in the same direction as our soul is near impossible at such reactive speeds. Right now, you're being reminded to take a breath and trust the wave you came in on, to trust the season you're in. Time isn't running out. There's plenty of time. There's no rush, and it's never too late. So maybe something that you're afraid you're too old to do. And also for some of us, we worry about rushing union, like we worry about running out of time with our person, but divine timing, and you know what the cards say, Spirit is working to make union as smooth as possible and as beautiful as possible. All right, so we'll get some charms and letters. So I took a little break before I did your charms, so you'll see the sun is now shining. The sun came out as I took a tiny break, got some water. PB&J. I see PB&J. Look, PB&J. All right. So we have heart, our name. PB&J. We go together like, I don't know what I'm doing peanut butter and jelly. L. Q. I started singing a song that doesn't even exist. W. X. Q. 2 queens. E. Y. A. O. P. Z. G. K. I. M. J. L. Z. N. Oh my gosh, that's bright. I can't even see. Pardon the noise. I'm going to put these back. I'm sorry if it's loud. Ugh, so loud. I wear headphones when I watch readings, so I know it's loud. I know it. All right, let's stir them up. I want to dig deep here. Dig deep. Guys, we have the twin flame one. The yin yang. All right, so we have the kitty cat. Cat and the kitty cat. We have a pumpkin, a star. We have an angel, divinely guided. We have the swan, divine feminine, soulmate, twin flame. We have the Christmas tree, the Scotty dog, butterfly, transformations. We have the wheel, ship's wheel, wheel of fortune, guided back together. We have the dolphin. We have the bicycle, chariot. We have the sun, divine masculine energy. We have a bone. I know I shouldn't laugh, but I kind of feel like there's points in the twin flame journey where you're like, could you just throw me a bone? Like, universe, just throw me a bone. Anyway, chariot, transformations, fishy. That Hello Kitty with the violin, haunts me. She's always here. We have the spider, working on yourself, working on your foundation. We have a key. Look, with a lock. 4-leaf clover. We have a seahorse. Its mate was in pile 1. We have the yin yang, an owl. I don't think we've had an owl yet today. Nope, owl. We have a crown. Look, frog prince. A crown and a frog. Key, gingerbread man. A snowflake, which is very much, twin flames are they're unique connections, one of a kind. We have an elephant, and we have, I've never seen this one before. You know what, guys? That is somebody holding a lantern, so hermit energy. That's somebody holding a lantern. Hermit energy. Beautiful. I didn't even clean up with you guys on camera today. All right, so thank you again for joining me for another reading. I hope this resonated. I know twin flame relationships aren't as common, so I hope that it resonated. And I'm sending you guys lots of love and light as always. Please let me know if you'd like to book a personal. You can email me. I'm very busy next week, but the week after I have more availability. And yeah, as always, I'm sending you love. Thank you for watching my ads, as that does help support my channel. And I'm sending you and your person, you and your person, lots of love and light. Bye. Hello, pile 3, and welcome to your reading. So I took a little bit of a break after pile 2, and the sun has come out strong and fierce for this reading for your pile. Oh look, just as I say that, the clouds come out. Anyway, if you picked pile 3, the Way of the Panda Tarot, and my cute little panda buddies, this is going to be your reading all about your twin flame connection. So twin flame connections are more rare, so I'm hoping this resonates. We do have very interesting piles today. These are the feathers from pile 2. Come here, feather. I want these guys front and center for your reading. Can we see them? Yes, we can. All right, so I'll set the feathers aside. So before we get into the tarot, we are going to look at some oracle cards. Now, I did, in pile 1, I pulled cards for the masculine and the feminine. And again, gender doesn't apply here. It's energy. So whatever you resonate with, whether you're the divine feminine or the divine masculine, and also the energies could be mirrored in reverse. So please take the side that resonates the most. And in pile 1, it was very clear that the divine feminine was on this side, I think. And then, was that the way it was? And then in pile 2, it was the divine masculine on this side. Anyway, for this pile, we have the lizard. So I do want, again, this is the only pile I'm not actually sure who is who. So we have the lizard and we have the magician. So this is supposed to represent either the divine masculine or the divine feminine. I kind of feel like it's the divine masculine. And then this represents what they're working on. So what they're currently facing, we have the magician. For the divine feminine, take it as it resonates. It could be reversed. We have the hawk. Look at that. The clouds are out. We have the hawk. I did have to move my roses over. For what the hawk is working on, we have the moon. I love how these cards really, in each pile, all the cards went together so nicely. And we have the river. So what's very interesting, doesn't that look like a broken mirror, you guys? I'm just hearing that now. That's a reflection. So lots of mirroring here. So right away what I'm seeing is that, first of all, you're both working on, we have 2 major arcanas here. So for the lizard person, I feel like the lizard person is working on it's been a cycle that is almost ingrained in them. They've learned it in childhood. It could have to do with childhood wounding, but we see these spirals here. So for me, that tells us that this person had a lot of things they needed to heal about themselves. And I mean, just the energy, I feel like it was very hard for this person to really dig down deep and look at themselves and their cycles. I find the energy interesting because in each pile we can tell a lot from the creatures in them. And in this pile we see this person fixated this way. And in this pile we see this person fixated on themselves. So again, I feel like this is the divine feminine and this is the divine masculine. I know that typically the feminine is the runner. However, this isn't actually runner energy. This is, it's almost like a standoff I'm seeing between the 2 of you, and there's acceptance here, and it's like you're both starting to grow. So I'm interested to see what the tarot says. So beginning with your person, or the divine masculine, however it resonates, we have the lizard, and I'm going to explain to you what the lizard means. So the lizard is on page 83, which reduces to 11, which is it's about working, ones are about, working on yourself. And oftentimes when we see 1-1 or 1-1-1, we're told that we are working, or we're on the right path. We're on the right journey. And actually, now that I'm looking at it, your person has the number 1 for the magician as well. So that's very interesting. This is about a starting point. This is about them starting to look at themselves, to really, really dig deep into that willpower and to look at themselves. Now, the lizard is a card that talks about repeating cycles and unlearned lessons. And that's what we're seeing here with the magician. I will mention one of the energies that sometimes comes with the magician is the energy of manipulation. Now, I'm not saying that this person is manipulative, but sometimes people manipulative people get a bad reputation, because as someone who's autistic and someone who used to mask, I did used to mask myself in certain situations, and the magician can talk about it can talk about wearing a mask and just giving the person what they need. It's like almost wearing a false mask. But what I'm saying is that I don't think that this is this person being manipulative. I think it's something that was learned in childhood, and it's one of these cycles. And it says I was on the page and then I said 83, right? I took out the card that I was using as a bookmark. Repeating a cycle, unlearn lessons. Lizards are often associated with the idea of regeneration, as they can regrow their tail should something happen to it. This indeed is a handy trick, enabling the lizard to not only get a major part of its body back, but also to be better next time around. When the lizard energy is present, we too are being offered this gift. So I really do feel like this person has been resisting change. They've been resisting learning these lessons. They could be older and still have these traumas and triggers. Like a lot of us, we go through our life and we avoid connections and people and friendships that trigger us. We think we're programmed to believe we're being triggered. That person's not compatible with us. It's not going to work. And what we're learning is that if we dig a little deeper, we're actually meant to heal something within ourselves in connections like those. And that's what I see here. I feel like this person probably went through life, unlearned lessons, repeating patterns, and nobody was ever impactful enough to make them want to change or to believe in them that they could change. And, they're really drawn to this feminine energy. We have the moon, which is divine feminine energy, and we see this person is just drawn to it. And that's what happens in these connections. The bond between you is so strong, and the mirroring is so strong. It's a very hard thing to explain to people. It's a very hard thing to explain to people who don't understand. And it doesn't, you start as the feminine, even though you see this person in cycles, because we go through cycles too. You're learning about unconditional love and acceptance. And I know that a lot of divine feminines can resonate with the fact that, yes, we get hurt. Yes, our person hurt us. Yes, our person betrayed us. Masculines can feel this too. I don't mean to discriminate against masculines, because I do get a lot of masculines watching these, and I get masculines booking readings. So no hate or discrimination. I almost made this really awful rhyme. I almost said no hate or discriminate, but that would just be too lame for me. No discrimination against my masculines. Again, I have unconditional love for this journey and the masculines and the feminines. So I just want you to know that I'm never here to judge, that we all have things we need to learn from. I have a lot, I think I've talked about it in each pile, but I had many, many shadows. I still have shadows that I'm working on and that I developed from childhood and from just our bloodline. So what we see here is your person, there has been a change here. And what I feel like is, I'm going to get into it. I've barely gotten into it. But the River card talks about, I have it here. It talks about the stream, the flow, the current. And I feel like in the past, this was blocked, like a wall was in between you. And even if you were giving to this connection, you were talking, it felt stagnant, it felt stuck. And something happened here to release it. Now, the moon, this is imagination and perception. So there is kind of a feeling I'm getting from this side, the feminine side, that I will go into. But first, we have the River as your connecting energy. So I do feel I almost feel like both of you actually are working towards communication, working towards understanding this, working towards understanding each other. I'm not sure if you're in communication or not, because I feel like recently there was a block, but now, or in the near future, we have the river, which is like, it's the opening of energy and it's allowing energy to flow. And the keywords are acceptance, grace, reflection, forgiveness. And you'll see what I mean when I go into what the hawk means. But I feel like not only is your person seeing lessons about themselves that they need to change, or sorry, cycles about themselves that they need to change, but you are also seeing the things that you need to change. You're looking at your perception of this, and have you perceived things wrongly in the past? Have you used, like, has programmed thinking stepped into it? Has your ego stepped into it? Again, this energy is focusing on how you're perceiving this, and it's possible that you've made a change. To me, it feels like there's been a forgiveness towards this person where you've opened up and accepted that, yes, this is a twin flame journey. Yes, this person is flawed, as we all are, and that you have this unconditional love where you want to almost change your perception of those programmed thoughts, because you're seeing this person wants to change. They're taking the steps to change. The lizard talks about finally changing these things, having the realization to actually do it. It's also about the person, I'm getting an energy from both of you that you're looking at these cycles, trying to figure out what you can do to learn from them. And I know it's a lesson that you've been through before with this person because it's unhealed. So it's a cycle that keeps repeating between the two of you. And your person is at a crossroads. Do they want to repeat the cycle with someone else, or do they want to change? And what we're seeing is they want to change, and they're harnessing this willpower to change. And the Magician is very much about, we see the person in the traditional tarot working on, they have all the tools. And I mention it in my readings that the Magician is someone who wants all the tools to work. So they want to come back to this connection with the ability to make it work and to have the right emotional maturity and the right energy. They want to be grounded enough, and they want, they want the ace of cups, all of those tools, the cups, the wand, the sword, and the pentacle. They want all of that balance so that this can flow and not be blocked. It's very interesting how there's that broken mirror there. I love it. It's very symbolic. The river washes away what is no longer necessary, smoothing over sharp edges and accepting all of our mistakes and grievances. Once we step in, we are no longer in control. The river carries us farther down the stream of transformation than we planned to go. Its waters have a special gift for reflecting back to us a new and dreamlike vision. Once the tears have passed, we see ourselves as we haven't seen ourselves before, with a little bit more lice, oh my goodness, no, not lice, lightness, lightness, no lice, lightness, grace and fluidity. Keep in mind the you that stands within the river is the real you, full of deep emotion and potential, nothing to hide, nothing to judge. And that's what I'm talking about. It's almost like you are both just in acceptance that this isn't perfect, and that you both you have childhood wounds, and they play a factor in this connection, and that even though you trigger each other, and even though there's cycles, you both see, it's almost like you've both forgiven each other and accepted that nobody was trying to hurt anybody. It wasn't a game. I'm hearing, there's a song by Scott. Oh my gosh. Now I gotta look it up. You guys. Sorry. I'm hearing a very specific line of song, so I want to look it up for you. It's like, how do you look up a song that you don't know? What's the song called? I don't know. I know who sings it though, so maybe if I do that. Oh my God, where is it? You know what? I'm going to pause it. Hang on. I'm annoyed because it's not showing me the lyrics on... I can't play it because then there'll be a copyright infringement. And I can't see the lyrics on my iPad for some reason, but it's called Ripple Effect by Scott Hellman. And let me just hear it in my mind. No, I can't. Just hang on. Oh my goodness. I had to go look up the lyrics. But you'll see why. I was hearing this with this because what I'm seeing is two people that probably hurt each other. I'm just as mean as my mother. You're just as angry as your dad. The clenched fists of a real long list of things we never had. This is not really about you, and it's not really about me. We're just drowning in the ripple effect of our parents' history. Please, can we try something new? Because I want to heal all them wounds with you. It seems like the least I can do for you. And then, anyway, listen to that song. But that first thing is so powerful. And just for me, really, the programmed thoughts that we have from our parents aren't necessarily true. And some of the behaviors that we learned have really sabotaged our connections in our lives. And again, it's that ripple effect. Oh, look, ripples in the water. Interesting. Look it up, that song, Ripple Effect. But it's like you're both aware that this river card is about reaching acceptance, that you accept you're not perfect, but I still love you and I still love you. And we still want this to work. And really about forgiving yourselves and not holding grudges against yourself. Now, I do want to read, let's have a look at that Hawk card too. So, the Hawk is 7 Chariot energy. And it talks about intelligence, independence, adaptability. Why does my brain make it so complicated? Clarity. So this is talking about, it's about seeing things clearly. It's about, listen to this, to see the Hawk in your reading is a call to check on your current state. Are you seeing things clearly? There is likely a situation at hand that is asking for a certain amount of flexibility on your part. So there's something about perception here, and we have the divine feminine and the perception coming out. So again, I come from a place where I've been here. This is the energy of, it's possible that I really want to say, I saw somebody in my comments mention it yesterday, that they didn't realize they were pushing away the connection. They didn't realize it was their perception of what they thought should be happening was actually blocking the connection, or their perception of what that person should be doing. And this Hawk card is about self-awareness and brutal honesty about the role you're playing. So again, I've been here, you guys. That's why I'm saying this, is that it's like this person right now, while this person is realizing the patterns they need to change and heal about themselves and the cycles they're repeating and the lessons that they haven't learned. This divine feminine, if that's how it resonates, is having a look at how they're perceiving this. How did they perceive it incorrectly? How did they perceive it? Where were you not being flexible? Where were you expecting too much? And it does talk about self-sabotage. And I say it all the time. When I'm self-sabotaging, I don't know that I'm doing it. And to be honest, I always think that the other person is self-sabotaging. And that's that ego that you can't see that it's you. So there is an energy of self-sabotage here. Again, take it as it resonates. We have, you may feel there's a situation at hand that's asking for a certain amount of flexibility on your part, but you may feel resistant to bending. Be careful that your stubbornness hasn't clouded your vision to your own detriment. And that's what I'm saying. There could be something that you're holding on to, a grudge, an expectation. There's something about looking at your side and gaining clarity on the role that you're playing in this connection, because we are playing one. We both have traumas and triggers. We both have lights and shadows. We both, I know that the poor masculines take a lot of grief sometimes, but us as feminines also have things that we need to work on, like anxious attachment, if that's how you resonate. Maybe you avoid. One thing that happened to me was I wanted to put it in a little box, and I had to learn that was not how these connections work. You can't put it in a little box. You can't force it to work. And I was sabotaging it. I went through the self-sabotage. I still experience self-sabotage. So we are going to look at tarot, and we'll talk a little bit more. I mean, I went a lot into those cards. Look, we have 6 of Swords on the bottom. So I'm interested to hear if you guys are together or not, because we do see these, I heard the floodgates are opening, but we see this energy starting to flow again. Ripple effect, look it up. Look up that song, Ripple Effect. So it could have been very stagnant here in the past. I also think it's possible as a feminine, you have acknowledged some hard truths about yourself and opened up about them, causing this person to also let their guard down and look at their shadows. Because remember, you guys are mirrors, so anything that you do, they do. Anything that you're going through, they're going through. And it is a way that we can help them if we are in separation. If you continue working on your healing journey, they'll continue working on theirs. It's energetic. It's not a game. I'm going to do one more shuffle. All right. So first we're going to look at the masculine side. So let's see how the masculine is doing. How is the masculine feeling? And guys, if you're watching more than one pile, they're all going to be... I don't know if I want to take all those. What do you think, Spirit? Shall we take them? Yeah, we'll take them. I asked Spirit. Spirit said yes, take all 3 before I looked at them. So what I was saying is that not all of these, just like twin flame relationships, they're all different. The journeys are different. And not all of these piles are laid out the same way. So I apologize for that they're not exactly the same. Some of this, well, a lot of this is being done intuitively. So on the masculine side, we see this person wanting to take action. We see this person taking action. We have King of Wands, fire. We have fire energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. We have water, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. We have the moon, which is Cancer energy. Is it? Or is it Pisces? Anyway, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. The moon is Pisces and the chariot is Cancer. We have Hawk, so air, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. And you'll see we do have a little bit of earth here. But what we're seeing is this masculine, if that's how it resonates, is making changes. They're changing. We see this lizard here. And I find it interesting how this King of Wands he's holding on to both wands. Like, it's almost like I'm getting the message, because this person is going through transformation. It's almost like they're reaching out for this one and letting this go, this past version of themselves. Now, this is an energy of action and taking action, having the confidence to come forward. We do see the 5 of Cups here. So your person often thinks, again, I'm not sure if you guys are together or not. You can let me know in the comments. We're all at different parts of our journey. But we see this 5 of Cups. I love this deck. I love the thing I love about tarot is that it can be read intuitively, and different decks have different meanings. So, and this is one of those decks. I find this deck and this deck they can have very different meanings and pictures to the cards. And what we see here is we see they're thinking about this. They have regret about what happened in the past. They have regret about these cups that were spilled. But we see this beautiful blue light around these 2 cups. And we see all these butterflies, and that's about transformation. That's about emotionally healing things. They're thinking about how far you've come. They're thinking about how much you've helped them grow, how much you've grown. And with the 6 of Pentacles, they could be... Right now, if you are in contact, they could be coming across very differently. They could be, in the past, you could have maybe not heard from them as much. Maybe now you're hearing from them more. We see those scales are balancing. So this is about equal give and take. So if this person is in contact with you, and we see the water here, it's possible that communication is starting to pick up. I am called to say, like, we have the blue here, which made me think of communication. And then I was like, well, but it's water. And we have blue on her head. But now we have blue on the scales. So, like, for some of you, I feel like you are in communication and you're seeing a difference in this person. For others of you that aren't in communication, this is something this person is thinking about. And the 6 of Pentacles can also talk about therapy and working on yourself, working on balancing yourself. So it's possible your person is getting advice. Now we do see the 9 of Cups on the bottom. Your person could have run or said hurtful words in the past. That's that intense, say hurtful things when you're triggered energy. I embody that energy myself, and it's one of my shadows that I try very hard to work on. Again, it's nothing... It's learned behavior from my parents. So all I can do is try and... Now I'm hearing another song. All I can do is try and work on myself and my own triggers and hope that... Well, I know that the counterpart did as well. But we see here, this person sees you as a wish fulfillment. And when someone is a wish fulfillment, they're worth healing for. They're worth changing for. They're worth looking at your shadows for. Now for your energy, how is the Divine Feminine feeling? We have the Queen of Cups. Beautiful. So, Queen of Cups energy, deep in emotion. You could be thinking about this. You could be thinking about... You could be protecting your emotions from this person right now with that Queen of Cups, but... Ultimately, I believe your heart is open to this person. I feel like maybe for some of you that have been looking at your own shadows and realized that you were pushing this away or that you did something, however it resonates, it could be that you're feeling like nurturing this connection right now. You feel like, you know, you're feeling like you need to nurture this person a little bit because, again, only take that if it resonates. That's kind of the energy that I'm getting. don't be tempted to overgive, okay? I will say that with the Queen of Cups there, it can be very easy when the masculine comes in and we start seeing a little bit of communication. It can be very easy for this Queen of Cups to start giving. And remember what happens when the Queen overgives? The King it becomes unbalanced, especially with divine, I'm talking about divine counterparts, so it becomes unbalanced. So you have to be careful not to overgive. And for a lot of you, I'm sure that you've learned that part of this journey is self-love and that you do need to give to yourself first. It's, you know, I have to ask you guys something, because pile 3, I often feel like my soul family's in pile 3. Although my soul family's in all the piles. What was I going to say? It was really important. Oh, right. You know, on an airplane, when they show you what to do in case of emergency, and they say, put your mask on first before anybody else. I had such bad childhood trauma that I didn't believe that was a thing. I didn't believe that. I thought, no way will I ever grab a mask for myself before my child or the person sitting next to me or an old person across the aisle. There's no way. How selfish to put myself first like that. That's childhood wounding. So for those of you who don't believe in putting yourself first, it's very important to give to yourself. And that's part of what we learn on, if you resonate with the feminine, that's part of that journey, is learning unconditional love for this energy, but also for ourselves, and really learning how to give that nurturing Empress love to ourselves, the one that we're so desperate to give to our counterpart. What? I just said the Empress. Taurus energy. So you could really be embodying Empress energy right now. You could be really feeling empowered. Again, you could be in contact with this person. So just remember, we see the Empress. It's funny because I was talking about the Queen of Cups overgiving. And we see the Empress here as like a reminder. This Empress is blocking that out. She's like, no, don't overgive. Don't overgive to that person. Attract. Don't chase. Attract. And we see the Empress pointing this way. So save some of that love for yourself. Embody that Empress energy. It is very important. Well, when we embody the Empress energy, look what happens. They come rushing in. Again, some of you I feel like are already talking to this person. It's very interesting. I have this pounding in my third eye right now. It's very interesting. I'm just massaging my head a little. All right, I want to get one more card for the feminine. The Empress. Love it. Love it. The Empress. Look, we have the moon twice. Oh my goodness. So again, I feel like you're facing yourself right now. You're facing your shadows. You're trying to listen to your intuition about this connection. What a beautiful energy, really embodying that divine feminine energy. You have the moon coming out twice now. I can see that this is a little uneven. I like it to be mirrored. You know what I find funny? All my life I was obsessed with black and white animals. Like all my life. Black and white things, black and white animals, black and white shirts, black and white crystals. And now I realize why. All right, no, it's still not even. Anyway, I'm not going to horse around with it all day. Oh, horse. Chariot energy coming towards you. Look at that energy going that way. So again, I feel like you're more focused on yourself right now. We have 9 of Pentacles, so you could be very focused on yourself. Maybe you felt codependent in this relationship, and being out of it made you glow up, made you really tap into that intuition, into your higher self. Again, I'm interested to see if anybody is talking here, or if you're together, or beginning signs of a union, because there is this flowing energy here. Divine Feminine. 3 times. We have the Queen of Cups too, so lots of Divine Feminine energy. What is coming next for these two energy? So that's very interesting. We have the 10 of Wands and then the King of Swords. So that talks about clarity. It talks about putting down those burdens. It talks about... It's the energy actually of this card, the River, which is accepting the burdens, accepting the heaviness, forgiving each other, putting those burdens down and moving forward with clarity. Whoa, okay. You wanted to come out 9 of Wands. Don't give up. You're almost there. Don't give up. Could be really close to union. Oh, we have the 5 of Swords in reverse and the Hermit on the bottom. So again, I do feel like in the past there was a lot of self-sabotaging behavior here on both sides. And I'm not saying it to be mean. Again, we can blindly self-sabotage things and not even realize we're doing it because we don't have the knowledge. And I want to tell you there's absolutely no shame facing your shadows, and it actually makes you a better version of yourself when you face your shadows. So no shame on either end here for anybody facing their shadows, trying to move forward. I wanted to get some twin flame cards and then a few more tarot cards, and then we'll do the oracles and then we'll end it. Charms, and then we'll end it. Very interesting piles today. I'm glad I'm finally doing this. I've been saying I'm gonna do it. The song I was hearing earlier, I listened to it the other day, maybe that's why I'm hearing it, is it's All I Can Do by Chantal Kreviazek, and it's, if that's even how you say her name, and it's All I Can Do Is Love You to Pieces. That's what I keep hearing. Give you a shoulder to cry when you need it, when the day is done and the night is falling back on you. All I can do, all I can do, all I can do. Yeah, anyway, could be relevant. Karmic ties. My heart is with another. I have to finish this karmic contract in order to be free. I do want to say, with this energy, I do not see a karmic in this energy at all, especially not with this, because it's very open. What I do see with this card is that, well, it's possible one of you had a karmic, because we have somebody facing their own shadows and their own perception and their self-sabotaging. And then we have this person facing unlearned lessons, patterns, cycles. So again, this is very much a past energy. This card would not be here if there was a karmic in here. But for some of you, I do believe there was a karmic in the past, and that could be part of this forgiveness. Again, green eyes could be important. That girl has very green eyes. I do want to say, I don't expect anybody to forgive a cheater. That's not what I'm saying. I don't forgive anyone. I don't expect anyone to pursue somebody that pushed them away. That's not what this is about. This is about something much deeper than our programmed thoughts about cheating. This is about spiritual bonds. This is about karmic lessons. This is about unconditional love. So those kind of things don't really apply here. Does it hurt when there's a karmic? Yes, it does. Is it hard to forgive that person? Yes, it is. Does it cause trust issues? Yes. But I learned to look at it as that karmic taught them something. What did I learn? I learned that I had trust issues. And it was before that. I had trust issues from childhood. I have abandonment issues. And that just really triggered it to the point where I had to heal it. Anyway, I'm one of those annoying people. There's lessons in everything. And when I try and see the lesson in it. So again, I'm not here to say that you have to forgive anyone. I'm saying there's a point to karmic contracts, but again, that is past energy for this person or you. We have 11, don't be tempted to disconnect from source. Our connection to source is the love and healing we require for union. And this makes me think of that person in my comment section. Hello, I am sending you so much love. Anybody who shares their very vulnerable story in my comment section, I can't reply in the comment section in the way that I want, because I do struggle with texting and communicating. But I'm telling you right now, I appreciate all of those. And this person was talking about, hang on. Sorry about that. My dogs are crazy. Oh my gosh. So what happens is we do go through moments where our commitment is tested. I'm seeing that your commitment is being tested in the moon deck. And, our ego, our shadows step in and whisper, what if I'm just being delusional? What if this person's a cheater? What if they never come back? Well, I haven't heard from them. What if they've moved on? And we're constantly being tempted to disconnect. It's about, again, it's not an easy journey. Sometimes you feel like you're hanging on to a string of nothing. Like I'm seeing the Light Seers card, the star card where she's holding on to the star. Sometimes it feels like you're standing there holding on to nothing. But that's, for me, those are the moments where you really look inside yourself and, just keep working on yourself and accept if this is... It's so hard because there's so many people out there that say negative things to deter us from this journey. And I've experienced it myself. And, I've mentioned, I don't think my best friend will ever watch these readings. But my best friend was very against divine counterparts, very against it. And she would tell me very openly that she thought it was she used hurtful words that I didn't like. And again, a lesson for me, because when she got in my head, I started questioning everything and I had to make it through that. Look at this. We have 1111. I'm realizing this connection is something special and worth treasuring. For some of you, maybe you talk about what this connection is. It's really hard if your person doesn't understand what a twin flame is. I remember I explained it once to mine and I was like, I'm not crazy. I know I sound crazy. I'm not crazy. Look at this. We are one. Don't let fear get in the way of this truth, guys. There's a lot of union energy in this reading. Like I said, I don't know the current situation, but we have a lot about, it's almost like preparing for union. And we have, energy flowing again. Even if you can't feel it, it could be under the surface that this is happening right now. But these cards are like union, union, union. They're like little, it's almost like Spirit's like, you know what? They're losing hope. Let's give them some hope. I have hurt you and I'm sorry. I hope you can forgive me someday and understand I was reacting in fear. See? Again, it's so easy for us to label someone as a jerk or something when they are mean to us. But when we look, they're reacting from a place of fear. They're reacting from a place of their ego. And the only reason that I can openly say this is because I've done it too. And I'm telling you, before I met my counterpart, you wouldn't see that side of me. It would have to be like, I'd really have to be triggered to have Knight of Swords energy to like blow up. at someone, I would really have to be like triggered for years on end by someone or pushed around by someone for years on end before I would react. And I'm telling you, my journey has brought out the worst sides of myself within the counterpart connection. And it's incredibly hard to look at yourself when you're acting like that. And then you have to apologize for acting like that. Anyway. So I feel for people because we're all capable of being triggered and acting from a place of fear and hurting from someone. And we're all capable of forgiveness. Just saying. We're all capable of hurt and we're all capable of forgiveness. Anything else for this pile? Oh, we have the next solstice. Look at all these 11s, you guys. And you have the 4, like 4 of Wands energy. The next solstice or equinox will bring an important shift for us. Draw another card to get an idea what the shift may be. So we have past lives are influencing our connection. I did say that about how even if it wasn't our parents, it can be in our bloodline, these reactions. Past lives are influencing our connection. I've lost you in other lifetimes and that makes me afraid. I need to heal the grief in order to allow the love to bloom. So that's very interesting. I'm feeling like we project our patterns onto each other and this makes it difficult to see what is real and what is fear-based thinking. If you are in a twin flame connection, you very much know that you project all over each other. And again, I'm very open and honest, you guys. I know that you say that I'm loving and giving and sweet, and I am, but I also have a shadow side, and my counterpart has seen the very worst sides of me, the very worst sides. Now, I want to look up when the next solstice is, because I'm just not up to date on that. I bet you somebody is watching this like, it's this. Is this correct? It says December 21st. That's the next solstice, but guys, I could be wrong. You can tell me if I'm wrong. I don't care. I can take it. Oh, that's even more interesting. Guys, there's an equinox on September 23rd. So something's happening after September 23rd. For those of you who are in communication, it could be union that's happening. It does say draw a card to get what that shift may be, and we do see past lives and pattern projections. And I feel like this is the energy that we have right here, that this person and this person are realizing, I have patterns that I project. I have patterns that I project. I need to fix those. I need to fix those. Have you hurt me? Yes, I have. Have you hurt me? Yes, I have. Do I love you? Yes. Do we forgive each other? Yes. And it's like this connection happening. So September 23rd could be very important. And December. I need to move slowly. So this is for those of you who are already in communication. I need to move slowly with this, but trust that I am moving even when it seems like I am not. So definitely your person is, I saw that right away in how their energy, if you resonate with the feminine, the masculine's energy is just like boom, 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 that way. I'm looking for a way out of this situation so I can be free. So this is 5 of Pentacles energy, and this is somebody wanting to come in from the cold. Mirrors, I wish you could see that we were mirroring each other right now. So again, whatever you're experiencing, their experience. Look at this. Whatever you just cleared helped me shift to, and that's as easy as it is. It's as easy as just a small shift in our energy that can really open up these connections. Definitely, this one is very much union. lots of ones. Lots and lots of ones. All right, my third eye is still going. All right, so what advice do you have here, Spirit? What advice do you have about this connection? We have the Queen of Crystals. Aww. So we have the Hierophant. Oh, look at. We have the Emperor. And we have the Empress. Again, for some of you, September union, December union. September could be communication, December could be union, or you're already in communication, union is September. Maybe you'll see each other in September. But we have the Emperor, so this person is focused on this, and I feel like you're focused on it too. They are focused on bringing you stability. We have the Queen of Crystals here, which is the Queen of Pentacles. So earth energy, and we have more earth energy. We have the Hierophant with the Shaman, divine wisdom, spiritual power. So for me, your advice is, if you aren't with this person, to keep working on yourself, keep working on your home, your own comfort, nurturing yourself. The Queen of Pentacles is someone that can take care of herself, and it's possible that you have spiritual gifts that you both need to develop here. Maybe a conversation about spirituality between the two of you to better understand this connection. With the River card and the acceptance and the forgiveness, I do see the two of you having a conversation about these things and about triggers and cycles. And it's possible that you guys talk and share about this, how this is a soul connection and how you feel drawn to each other. It could be that maybe you are meant to be a spiritual advisor through this journey. Maybe that's part of the calling on your twin flame journey. It was on mine. I had no idea it was, and then it just kind of happened. Emperor on the bottom. We have the Knight of Crystals. So I did see the Knight of Pentacles wanting to come out. And the Knight of Pentacles is someone who is determined. They may move slow, but the Knight of Pentacles is someone with endurance. They want to put down roots. They're determined to come back towards you. And this is what we're seeing here. We have hope and readjustment. Beautiful. This person's made some changes, just like you. Two of Cups, union. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God, look. I shouldn't be saying oh my God. I should be saying oh my gosh, but sorry for anyone I just offended by saying oh my God. Look. I told you, union energy. I told you I felt it. And look at this. Look at these cards. Union and harmony. Look at the I almost said penguins. Those are pigeons. Oh, they could be doves. They could be mourning doves, actually. We have the Hermit. So Virgo energy, contemplation and wisdom. So the Hermit is about inner growth. And look at this. We have an awakening, renewal, and enlightenment. So renewal, harmony. Oof, that's beautiful, you guys. You're on the right track here. This pile is beautiful. Definitely on the right track. Let's get your oracle cards. So let's clean up some of these and we'll get your oracle cards. Again, I hope I remember to... I think I did all the same cards. All right, so we'll do moon cards. So this one is a little different because I'm doing moon cards and then the starseed cards, which I don't use very much on my general love readings, but I do bring them out for twin flames. And anyway, you are good enough. Full moon in Virgo. So Virgo could be important, or Virgo season. Virgo season is coming up. The answers you need are coming, full moon in Gemini. And in the deck, the other card that this represents is also communication. So the answers you need are coming. I'm seeing that communication card, so I'm saying it. Communication is coming. You're very close to achieving your goal. My favorite card. On the back, we have conclusions are within reach and a fiery climax approaches, full moon in Aries. Beautiful. Again, this pile has the most open energy in my, well, to be honest, I can't even remember pile 1 right now because I honestly, it's almost like I have amnesia after I do a pile. It's hard for me to remember what was in it, so I can't actually remember the connecting energy in pile 1, but this one is just open and flowing. I do hope that you guys will look up that song. I'm not getting paid to say that. Scotty Hellman, Ripple Effect. Whoa, that one just, okay. That one just came right out. The 7 Star Sisters. I want to get one more because that one was just, I didn't even get to think about it. I'm going to read it though. See, I believe that yes, we have to think about it and ask, but also sometimes Spirit just puts cards in our path that we need to hear or see. So one more card for my beautiful pile 3. So that was in pile 1. And that is very interesting because it very much reminds me of this energy. It is, you guys need to hear this card because it very much is a shift in your perception of these connections. And it talks about how none of this matters. The arguing, the bickering, none of it matters. That you're just a speck on whatever the thing is. Do you guys like Horton Hears a Who? I like that movie. We are here. We are here. So I'm going to read these cards. We'll start with the 7 Sisters because that's the one that wanted to be seen first. Oh, perspective. It's right there. I'm going to make sure I keep my finger on it. Birthing creations, tapestry of life expressions. There are new creations that want to be born. Beauty that's yearning to be woven. New consciousness that's longing to be breathed into life. If you draw this card, you're being called to surrender to these creations, to usher in a new era of consciousness, and to do your bit in weaving the web of life. This is the card of the artist and the midwife. You're being called to ponder questions. What wants to be birthed through you? I'm pretty sure this is the pile that I said that you could... I think I said it with pile 2 as well. But that you could have a purpose. You could have a soul purpose with that Hierophant card. What wants to be birthed through you? What new creations are whispering in your ear? What beauty are you being called to make? Creativity and intuition come from the same sacred place. And you guys had 3 cards about intuition. They occur when we find ourselves flowing with the rest of life. Earth is renowned as a planet of manifestation and creativity, yet so many of us have forgotten how to create. Somewhere along the way, we stopped seeing ourselves as artists, as creatives, as poets. Yet to be human is to be creative. Creativity is part of your true nature. Perhaps you're being called to surrender to a creative project, such as a new business or a book, or perhaps you're being called to weave beauty in your home or the way you cook. Regardless of the end result, you're being called to express yourself through your creativity, to surrender to the creative projects that both scare you and excite you. Guys, this was part of my journey. I don't think I talked about it in this pile, but maybe I did. Again, I have amnesia. I'm like Dory. I was terrified to be a tarot reader. I was terrified. I thought, I'm such a little fish in such a big pond, but it doesn't scare me anymore. Find a way to weave beauty back into everyday life, for where there's creativity, Spirit and soul are present, and the world needs those qualities more now than ever before. And I truly believe that the world needs, we need less of making assumptions about people and putting people into boxes and hate. And, you know, I said when I was awakening to my friend, I was like, tarot, this spirituality, it's amazing. Why doesn't everybody do this? Everybody would be so much happier. You know, I often wish my family would wake up. Perspective. None of this matters. Take a step back and look at the bigger picture of your life. Step away from the blinkered vision and reactive frame of mind of me against them. Change your perspective, shift your point of view, and zoom out, out, out. We are but a speck of dust in the universe, yet we think everything revolves around us. We see the planet as ours to own and conquer, pillaging the land and setting ourselves up for eventual extinction. We build fences and walls and create invisible borders. Mother Earth doesn't need us to survive, but we need her. It's time to wake up. A new perspective is urgently needed. Enter all the twin flames, in my opinion. We become so lost in our individual experience that we don't realize that most of the things that keep us awake at night are actually distractions. We're wasting our precious time and resources fighting each other when we should be coming together to heal what has been severed. This moment is a breath in the timeline of your life. This life is a fleeting moment in the tapestry of your soul's experience. Your soul's experience is a flash in the timeline of the known universe, and the known universe is a grain of sand in the unknown universe. Take a moment to see the bigger picture, to find common ground, to find deep compassion in your heart, to gain a greater perspective of humanity in this fleeting moment in the timeline of your soul's existence, in the timeline of all that is, was, and ever will be. That makes me tear up. It does. I don't know why. It just makes me tear up. All right, so pile 3, that is your reading. I'm going to get you charms now. So let's put away the cards. If you guys have kids, did you ever sing clean up, everybody? That song. It's cute for a while. And then it's, anyway. All right, so where is my box? I'm going to leave the feathers in there. So let's do letters. That was a lot in one go. We'll get a couple more. We have P, H, J, Phil, I'm hearing, W, S, Z, L, B, U, L, O, R, O, G, M, X, N, D, G, 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 K, Q, K, 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 A, E, Y. Oh, look. For anybody else named Kelly. I see my name. Kelly. Where are all my Kellys at? I also saw my person's initials in there. That's funny. Sorry, guys. I know that's loud. I know it's loud. I'm horrible. All right, let's get some charmies. I'm trying to dig under the top. Guys, I see dolphins. I see lots and lots of dolphins. Look, dolphin. Oh, you guys could have a baby. Look, I have twins. All right, so we have dolphin, dolphin, dolphin. Happiness, joy, transformation. We have music, very important. This is also, I look at that as a musical symbol. Oh, look, we have all 3 of the music ones that I associate with twin flame music connections. That's interesting. All 3 there. That's what I mean. That's the one on the, I used to play piano. That's the one on the, that's a whatever it's called. And what's that called? Somebody tell me. We have a cross, a leaf, growth, or you could be into plants. I'm into plants. We have a boat, chariot, receiving the news that you need to hear, receiving messages. We have the yoga hand, kitty cat, butterfly, bicycle, chariot, cross, another cross, a koi fish. Koi could be relevant. Christmas candle, Eiffel Tower. We have the fork, fork in the road, elephant. We have the bunny playing tennis. Oh, look, we have two elephants. Guys, we have dolphins and elephants matching up here. Beautiful. We have a horse, chariot, a mermaid, a child, scissors, safety pin, and a fork. So there you go, guys. I'm going to leave it there, and I will be back next week with another pick a card. Like I said, I have lots going on next week, but I'm still going to be here doing some readings for you. So yeah, possibly Monday we'll see how things play out, but definitely next week I'll be back. And I hope you all enjoyed this reading. I hope you all have a great weekend, and I am sending you and your person, as always, lots of love. Bye.